Okay, so, Right, so I hope this stream doesn't shut off, but last time our stream shut off prematurely before we ended. So I'll give you a summary. We found 11 S mints. We found two war nickels, a buffalo nickel, and 71 westerns. And just a couple good, nice goodies. So we found a 42S, which is what we need. And that was a 42P that we need, but we have 42S. And we got 44 Denver. Oh, no, a 42S we already got. We need a 42P. We need a 42P. And we need a 44D. We found a 44D. So, hello, yo. So, here's the thing. These are the war nickels we're looking for. We need one with a 1942 and a P at the top. We needed one with a 1944 with a D, which is 1944 D, and there we go. We got a D. So yeah, keep stacking the more nickels, chat. Sorry if I'm loud. Okay. I don't know when I'm going to be doing my summary video, my numismatic summary video for 2025. 2025 was a great and a bad year. It was the best wheat penny year ever. I got the most amount of wheat pennies. Over 3,000 wheat pennies were found this year. Hello. But, of course, the pennies have stopped being made. So I won't be surprised if we can't even crack over 1,000 a year now because of that BS. But, on the bright side, I'm not going to talk because I'm eating. No problem. I'll try to look at your chat. It will be very busy right now. Yeah, we found a 44 Denver, which is one of the war nickels we were missing yesterday. Oh, I'm getting the crap in my foot. I hope you guys, if you guys did not see me, I hope you guys had a great Christmas. We, December 30, oh, war pickles, yeah. The only war nickel we're missing is a 1942 Philly. We have every single one, even the 43 Denver, which we found a 43 Denver a couple of days ago or so. Don't see any goodies on the end. Yeah, yesterday, on the 24th, Christmas Eve, that was a good box. 2 war nickels, a buffalo nickel. We even got a... Oh, that scared the hell out of me. We got a Swedish coin, I think. So, actually... The goodies. Yep, goodies. Let's do this. Let's get in. Let's begin. Alright, here's Western. You know what I was going to talk about today? You know the stupidest thing, in my opinion, people can do? Online gambling. Like, bro, can you imagine going to an online casino? It's code. Code can be easily rigged. I mean, the real casino, the ones without code, bro, those are already rigged. I don't care. I don't get when people online, they gamble, and then they lose hundreds of thousands of dollars. Listen. And they just keep going. Like, bro, if I actually gambled, which I don't think I'll ever gamble. If I lost $100, I would be out. I'm like, nope, never touching this place again. I'm not putting more money in the owner of this place. Yeah, we found 2 war nickels on the last box. That was a GG right there. That was good. I will say, there is no way to weigh a box to detect war nickels because war nickels weigh 5 grams, just like any other nickel. Those were rusty. On average, I think a box of nickels weighs about 10 kilos, which comes out to roughly 22 to 23 pounds. Okay, so there's two westerns. Okay, Lena. By the way, the guy with the brown L profile. I see. I'm gonna call you Lena, if you don't mind. So here's what we're looking for, dude. In my country, we made nickels like this. They have a letter at the top. That is a war nickel, and they were struck between the mid-year, the late end 1942, all the way through 1945. They were struck. They have silver in them, which is really cool. But they're a little uncommon. When I say uncommon, we're talking like 1 or 2 of them per box. So we have 50 rolls to go through today, and there's usually about 1 or 2 throughout all. Oh, I thought that was 45. That's 46. That's the year right after the war nickels. If this was a year older, it'd be a war nickel. All 45s are war nickels. So are all 43s, 44s, 45s are war nickels. And 42s, I think most of them are war nickels. The great thing about finding them is that they usually have a really distinctive wear. Western. Like if I put a couple of war nickels right here, you definitely tell they look a lot different. To your eyes, it may not be. What's the best coin you've ever found? In my opinion, one of my favorite. I have many favorites, but one of my favorites is a 1924 Denver, which is the 5th rarest wheat penny and the 5th rarest Lincoln Memorial cent ever struck past 1909. So if any like penny, it's the 5th rarest one, with a mintage of no more than about 4 to 5 million. Now, 4 million may not sound like much, but I want you to compare a number of 4 million to 550 billion. That, let's see, Western. That is a rarity. Like, if you brought every single penny we've ever struck back into circulation, like, if you just snapped your fingers and every lost, melted, or destroyed coin, destroyed penny was brought back to life, it has a mintage rarity of about 4 out of 550,000, or roughly 1 in 125,000 rarity. And by the way, that's not considering the population degradation, which in English, that basically means, like, you know, as the years go by, coins disappear, are melted, lost, or destroyed. So therefore, the rarity goes up. Just because a coin is old doesn't mean it's very popular. I have several coins. I have a couple of coins made before the 1920s, and they don't really go above face value. That nickel got sheared. So as you can see, I've stacked a couple war nickels. Oh my gosh, how many do I have? I found 12. I think I found 14, but I have kept 12 because the 2 went into my album. Oh wait, that's 15, and there's 13 there. Yeah. Western. Yeah, so 19, like, oh wait, it's not on this, because it's not the penny one. It's not the penny mat I use. back. That's good. Yeah, the United States government has, or no, I should say the Mint, the U.S. Mint has struck billions of pennies over the span of 160 plus years. And that's the small pennies. We've struck large 1 cent pieces ever since 1793. Penny mintage started to explode come the age of the steam press. Mechanical presses were used to strike the first coins of America. But as the steam press, steam power, Western, came into the picture, coin production was rapidly increased. It was also increased due to the gold rush, which not only was gold brought from the west, but silver as well. Notably, from the Comstock lode located in northwestern United States. If I'm not wrong, one of the biggest silver reserves on Earth. Guy was going in his, if I'm not wrong, the story goes, the guy was just chilling out in his back on his property, poking around, prospecting, and little you know, he was sitting above one of the largest silver deposits in the country. Alright, 10 rolls in. 40 rolls to go. Let's do this thing. Let's get down to this shizness. Western. Again, we also gotta be aware of. Ooh, there's a 41. Oh, it's an S mint. I'll take that. I like the 41S. Speaking of war nickels, I just found one. Oh, cool. What date? Again, if I'm not wrong, I'm pretty sure the 1942 Philadelphia war nickel, Western, was the very first war nickel to feature the mint mark. As of course, Philadelphia was the first mint, also referred to as the mother mint, and it did not require a mint mark at all. There's a Western. Another Western. Another thing I have a couple gold-plated coins. They're not that valuable. Like the most valuable gold plate coin I have is like $13. And I have everyone's wondering, why is it $13 if it's gold-plated? It's gold-plated. It ain't solid gold. If it was solid gold, it'd probably be worth about say a couple grand. Probably at least 4,000 to 5,000+. Ooh, is that one? Is that one? Oh, it's a 40. Is it an S or it's a D? Be honest with me. You always see this, like, right? You look at this and you think, oh, there's a war nickel, and you go, nothing. These worn down nickels right here always trick me. Down the hatch you go. Yeah, which one did you find? Oh no. I think war nickels were largely recalled after the end of the Second World War. Let me see. Were war nickels recalled after the war? Not officially recalled, just systemically withdrawn by the U.S. government after war. Despite initial plans to do so, although minted of large distinct mint marks to identify... Huh. The Treasury intended to pull these coins from circulation because they were contained silver and manganese rather than standard nickel alloy. Oh, they are 35% silver. 35. Missed it by that much. Treasury, okay, so it looks like... let me confirm that. Why do war nickels have large mint marks? I'm pretty sure... I think it's obvious that war nickels have the largest mint marks of any coin. Oh, that's really cool. So apparently they were made with large mint marks. So if hey, I work at Treasury. Hey, look. It's got a big number. Or it's, oh, that's a letter. I'm so dumb. Hey, big letter on the back. Toss it in the burn pot. But then there, guess what they're like. So apparently the reason they didn't remove it is that sitting down and identifying all those nickels. I want you to imagine. This is 1945, so before high-speed machinery. Look at this, right? I mean, if you really think about it, that is like, even for people like me, that task is almost impossible without a large number of people like me. To put it to perspective, I have 2,000 nickels per box. Let's see. The least common, the rarest war nickel, the 1943 Denver, there were 15 million of them. That's the rarest war nickel. Let's say 15 million, right? Let's be conservative about this. Hello. Hey, change your picture. Let's be conservative about this. If we cut the rarest war nickel, I'll call you Christy now. Divide the mintage by half. Let's say you're withdrawing half of that. That's 3,750 boxes. If the government had to recall all of, like, half of the rarest war nickel, it would take 3,000 boxes, 3,700 boxes. And by the way, that's not considering that, you know, they struck Buffalo nickels and V nickels years prior. So that means that they would that it would actually take them way more boxes. Honestly, if you had to give me an estimate, I think it would take them about... It would take the United States government probably more than 10 to 100 plus million boxes to fully with... Actually, I retract. Not even fully retract them. Yeah, the time and money is way too slim. And you can't separate them by weight because war nickels weigh the exact same as a nickel. Like, as a normal one. This, like, let's take a new one. There's a 2023. Flop it on there, 5 grams. War nickel from there, 4.8 grams. Oh, these aren't pennies. These are nickels. They go out and they land into a bucket where they will be wrapped. They'll be wrapped into rolls like this. So these are all the nickels I go through. And then I'll bring them to the bank and switch them out for fresh ones. This simple process, which, by the way, wrapping nickels, it's so much easier than wrapping pennies. I can actually wrap the nickel rolls faster than I can destroy them. In the time it takes me to go through one of these rolls, I could wrap about 5 or 7 of them. Oh, hey, look at that. And it's dated 1924, Philly. Nice. So, my friends, let me my Romanian friend. I'm going to introduce you to what we call the Buffalo nickel. Today we got lucky because this one's dated. It is a 1924. There's no mint mark right there. Philadelphia. To find them, to get them to be, like, by the way, you could barely see the date on this. And I consider that really, really good. That is a 1924 Philadelphia nickel. So that's the Buffalo nickel. It was, there's Western. It was struck between 1913 and 1938. There were roughly about 2 to 3 billion of them that were struck before they switched over to Jefferson nickel. The Jefferson nickel, if you really think about it, the Jefferson nickel, I think in my opinion, holds the record for the longest a coin has been without a really true design. Like, if you really think about this, right? Yeah, there is a little bit of an exception with the war nickels, but literally, look at this. Here's my case, right? Here's a bunch of 39s and 38s. This is a 1938, right here. Ready for this? 25. This is a 1938 nickel. This is a 2025 nickel, right on the side. The reverse, besides the mint mark for the war nickels, that reverse has been there for almost 100 years consecutively, whereas the penny has had the reverses changed out roughly every 50 years. From 1909 to 58 was the wheat reverse. 59 to 2008 was the memorial reverse, which remains the most common coin on Earth. From 2009, the bicentennial reverse with 8 different reverses. And 2010 to 25, the shield reverse. My favorite, of course, being the wheat penny. But the obverse for, I will say, the penny holds the record for the longest surviving obverse. Oh, there's 2009, by the way. There's a Western. The penny has had its obverse the same since 1909. So if you take a penny from 1909 and a penny from 2025, the obverse is almost exactly the same. Well, there is a couple minor details, like the VDB on the obverse and the penny was added. It's so stupid how the first pennies were recalled, but kind of not, because the first pennies... What's the weirdest nickel I've got? That's a good question. I have a double die. The double die is when they strike the nickel or a coin twice. And the letters on the front, or the obverse, like the date, they were really fat. Like, they were really thick. So usually the normal process is a coin is struck, boom, struck, boom. But however, it goes, there's Western, so it goes, strike, boom. But however, a double die goes strike, strike, boom. Double died. And the double die is split into 2 categories. Double die obverse for the fronts, and double die reverse for the reverse and the backs. Alright, whoopsies. 20 rolls in, we got a Buffalo nickel in the 2009. 2009s, I would consider a minor key date because they are a little bit uncommon. Most likely due to the recession. Either that, or maybe they devoted all their resources, like copper, into striking the 2009 cent. I've also noticed that for quarters, it's low, but for pennies, 09s are relatively common. The 2009 penny marks the 100th year of the penny being struck. Hello, 3 viewers. Imagine we find a 42 Philly. Western. So yeah, by the way, don't be like, oh well, what is this? Most of them are bad. It's the small ones, or the rarer or uncommon ones that are the funnest designs. If they were common, they wouldn't be fun. What? Oh crap! Oh shoot! A Western. Another Western. Again, those Westerns aren't valuable, but they're a vice for me. And then this little shoot right here. I have a silver 5 cent. Oh, yeah. That's when they used to make them. I'm pretty sure that wasn't even a... I think nickels were 1850s plus, and then anything before were half Disney or half dime. Actually, I think half dime is the old... Half Disney is old, but the half dime was new. And they discontinued the half dime and then just split off into the nickel. And yes, if you're going to ask, there is nickels and nickels. Yep. Western. Today, nickels are mated with a copper core, and they're coated with nickel. Western. So they're made mostly with copper, but their cores are copper, and they are plated with nickel on top. Estimate. Oh, hey, it's Saturday tomorrow. I do a penny box tomorrow. Estimate. Again, war nickels are very uncommon. There is a great chance that you can go through a box and not even find one. As most of them are usually pulled out by collectors like me. Western. Yeah, I went to a McDonald's today on my way home. Yeah. And I went to McDonald's today, and they've already stopped handing out pennies. I think I've heard where it actually might cost commerce the same amount of money as it costs the government to make pennies. So now the cost has simply moved on to the commerce. By the way, I just will say that ending of pennies is illegal because you have to go through Congress to do it. And I'm pretty sure that wasn't done through Congress. It was ordered, which is a big no-no. Yeah, I know a little bit about laws. About, like, coinage and stuff. Like, I'm pretty sure you can't strike coinage, like circulating coinage of non-deceased figures. I once got a Liberty Head nickel from a yard sale for only 30 cents. Damn. Talk about a flip. Good shit, bro. Liberty Head. I also think they're called V-nickels, and I have one. I have one. Let's see. If you're in Romania, by the way, finding a V-nickel over there would be a little bit uncommon, I assume. I assume that American coins only slowly trickle out. Sometimes foreigners, I guess, just reject them in pocket change. Just how when foreigners travel to America, they probably have their home country's coins, a couple in their pocket, just because, you know, people have pocket change. And it gets incorporated into the system. Oh, I think that'd be a war nickel. 46. It's very close to being a war nickel. That is literally a year after the war nickel. Western. Yard sales. Nice. The fact that you got a Liberty Head for 30 cents, not bad. Yeah, by the way, a Liberty Head nickel is very uncommon. I've searched 21 boxes of nickels. Oh, hey, we got... Panama or Balboa. Look at that. Pretty. It came from Mesoamerica. Sometimes coins... Well, we sort coins by size. In America and many other countries, we run them through machines. And they sort them by the size. This means that a foreign coin or any piece of metal that size can actually effectively trip a coin counter. Alright. 30 rolls in. Hopefully we get a war nickel, or as the guy calls it, a war pickle. Ooh, that's a 40. It's a 40S. I'll take that. Looks like you missed. That's embarrassing. Western. S-Mint. S-Mint coins are a little bit scarce because they don't make them anymore. I remember once I was at my restaurant, like three coins make the pennies. The Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. And I went to go get coins from each mint, and I couldn't find them from San Francisco. And that's when I figured out, hey, San Francisco doesn't operate anymore. Aw. You know what I do? If you thought, I would have taken it. If it was cheap, I would have bought it. I like to buy those Nerf guns sometimes for spare parts. Western. The Hailfire has a flywheel system. Western. Also, trivia about the Hailfire. It's the first Nerf blaster to ever be introduced into Nerf Elite. So for all the Elite blasters, it's the very first one. Yeah, I get it, because the Hailfire is an under-barrel, heavy-style weapon, kind of. But when you, there's a little handguard on it, and you flick it and pull it backwards, and it rotates the magazines. The only problem with the Hailfire, in my opinion, is that the moving parts and the moving system can get jammed every once in a while. So definitely, you definitely want to be a little bit careful when using one in a Nerf battle, because if it jams up on you, you're cooked. Western. Hey, can I get your email? I've got a question about a coin. Well, why don't you ask me now? I did not mean it in a condescending voice, so please don't get offended. Like, by the way, I might post my email or like a fan email, Western. I should make an email for like fan mail and stuff. Two Westerns. Yeah, feel free to ask me now. Ooh, it's neat. Oh, what do we do? War nickel. It has these 3 things on it. I don't know if it's an error or not. 3 dings. Western. Feel free to Western. Like, are these dings are they dents in the coin? It might be damage, because most coins like that have damage in them. Oh, I know another penny I found. I remember I found a 1934 strike through. It was a penny that had something struck through. However, it did not keep the item that was struck through. Yeah, I can imagine it's a mess. Maybe it's from people cutting or trimming them off. Sometimes people like to cut the edge of coins just because they can do it for fun and stuff. I'd imagine it's post-mint damage. Okay. Oh, that's normal Buffalo. That is a 2005 Buffalo nickel. The old Buffalo nickels face the left. The new ones face the right. Yep, I'm right. The new ones face the right. 10 to go. Can we find a war nickel, or will my hopes and dreams be crushed like they always are? Yeah, I'm sorry if I'm like being a little bit of annoying, like saying, "Oh, I don't know if I'll give my email," but I have to imagine that it is maybe like people clip it because they want to see what like the cross section of the coin looks like. That's true. Or it could be an art piece. You never know. Western. Western. Ah, 55 Denver. I need a 55 Philly. Actually, where was that? I can actually upgrade. Western. Right. Have you ever gotten a rusted nickel? Well, I keep getting them every once in a while. Of course, as I mentioned previously, nickels are made of copper with a nickel cladding. Once this nickel cladding sometimes gets breached, the nickel can start to actually corrode, but it's copper, so it starts to... Sometimes they start to turn a dark crimson color. Or in some rare cases, they can be... They can start to turn the classic cyan blue that copper likes to corrode into. We'll say nickels are relatively resilient to their environment, but they can and will corrode. Depends. Like, for example, if nickels sit outside for so long, they will start to corrode. Western. Like here's one that's clearly corroded. You can see the color of like yep, there's the blue. Where that the signature blue of that copper likes to corrode into and cruising. A lot of wheat pennies I have are actually wheat pennies are actually made of copper, and that copper likes to sometimes turn a crimson color, like a very deep, dark blood red. Western, two of them. Western. Oh, another 55 Denver. And you have 55 Philly. For some reason I don't have a 55 Denver. Or I don't have a 55 Philly at all. And it was drawn by a permanent marker. It was $6. Oh, dude, I would have gotten it. I would have gotten that right there in the spot. $6. And yeah, it probably needs some renovation if it was drawn on by marker, but hell, I'd take it. Better than no CS50. They go for like $250. Western. We want to hear a stupid deal I got? I bought a Nerf Mastodon for $10, and it worked. It didn't have the bottom plate. But it didn't have like the bottom snowfoot, Western, but it worked. There, Western. I bought another Prometheus. I bought Prometheus for $100, but it was missing its battery. Luckily, actually, that Prometheus should have been like $50 because the battery, without its battery, it wasn't useful. I should have talked them down. Because it didn't have the battery. I shouldn't have paid $100. Now I think about it. But the good thing is, it wasn't turning on and didn't have the magazine. Well, still, even if that is again $6 for spare parts and a frame. There's a 51. Western. No war nickels today, chat. No war nickels today. It's a bit optimal. I was a bit optimistic. About finding war nickels since I found 2 the other day. Damn, I'm sweating this one. Like hell. Give me a second. All right. Buffalo nickels. We got 1. War nickels, none. 7. S mints, 6 of those. West Virginia nickels, 59. All right. Modded your Nerf blasters? A couple. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Pretty good luck today. Alright guys, let's play some Satisfaction.